bar on him. So I mean, that's the ultimate torture. You know, I'd rather be sitting in there knowing I'm never going to get out instead of thinking every couple of years, this justice system, the way the law works, well, I got a pretty good chance this time. Then they move the bar on him. So I mean, that's torture. You know, how much torture are you going to give this man? You know, and you look at it this way. I tell people, you don't even have to like Leonard Peltier. A lot of people don't even know who Leonard Peltier is. But this is the justice system that failed him. This is the justice system that we all honor and abide by. So you don't have to like Leonard, but it was the justice system that failed him. The ones that wouldn't give him a fair trial, the one to keep moving the bar on him. That's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff that we need to be asking for. That's why we need to do this. That will be the first step for them to start following by their rules. Is letting Leonard out, you know, and it's their set of rules. They wrote them. They're the ones that made them up. You know, us Indian people, back before the white man came here, we didn't have jails. If somebody did something wrong, which push them away from the tribe. They'd have to go live on their own out there, survive on their own out there. You think? You know, I kind of think, well, heck. I like being in the woods alone myself, but you know, that was jail for them. You know, you couldn't see your family. You know, you couldn't be around your kids. That was the jail. So you had to go out there and survive on your own. That was the punishment. You might not think that was a good punishment, but really, that was a bad punishment. You know, so I mean, that's all I'm asking you guys. You know, is. It's time for Leonard to go home. And if you guys ever was a supporter of Leonard, he needs your help now more than ever. You know, and I've never asked him anything in my life. My dad's been in prison my whole life. My mom was an alcoholic. Anything I ever wanted, I've been working since I was 14 years old. I was on the street. I had to start working. You know, heck, I didn't know no better. Yeah, I went out and tried to steal, got in trouble, ended up in jail. I thought, well, that ain't the key. Went and found a job. I thought, well, this is a good, honest life. You know, I'm a fair believer in law and order. If it wasn't for the 50% of the law that was good and honest, law-abiding law, if they were all corrupt, how crazy would this world be? You know, and I say that because I've had numerous friends that were cops that came to me and said, Chauncey, my lifelong dream was to be a cop. My lifelong dream was to be a stater. And they've all had horror stories where they were a cop, they finally got to do what they wanted to do their whole dream, and then they see the corruption and they can't stand it. So, like 3 of these guys, they ain't cops no more because they think, which they're right. Everybody, if you're a cop, should abide and go by the rules. But it ain't like that. So, I mean, that's why a few of these guys I know that ain't cops no more. But I thank the Creator every day that at least we do have 50% that are good, honest cops. Because if we didn't, this would be a crazy world. You know? So, that's all I'm asking you guys is to ask the system to abide by their own rules and ask for freedom for Leonard Peltier. Because this is his last chance for freedom. And the man needs to go home. It's way past due. And I'm also doing a motorcycle event July 12th to July 24th. You can go to peltierjustice.com. And on July 12th, I'm taking off Banks, Oregon, and I'm going to Washington, D.C. in support of clemency for Leonard Peltier. I've already got people from UK, all over the United States, a guy from Canada that signed up. We're going to call it a motorcycle/caravan. I've had some elders tell me, well, you don't care if I come in my van? I said, no, get a motorhome if you want. Come with me. And I hear him walking off going, oh, he said he didn't care if we came in a motorhome. I know so-and-so's got a motorhome. And they're, hey, we're going with you. I said, come on, come with me. And I already know there's so many people that's got a hold of me and said, I'm not going to ride with you through the whole event, but I'm going to ride with you through our state. And That's what I want to do. I want to flood them with these. I want to show up in D.C. hopefully with 50,000, 100,000 people. You know, and show Obama. Leonard has the supporters here because I know he does. And it's time. That's why I go to a lot of these colleges. I talk. People 20, 30 years old don't know about Leonard. I go there and I educate them about Leonard. And they go, man, how come I never heard about this? Because you're only 25. This happened 40 years ago. And man, they want to help any way they can, you know. And that's what we need. We need to start this new tsunami wave for support of Leonard so he can go home. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other political prisoners out there that need to go home too. And that's why I started PeltierJustice.com. Because when Leonard goes home in January, I want to help all political prisoners. I don't care what color you are. If you ain't getting the right justice, when you go to court a lot of times, I'm sure we all know somebody that's went to court. And, wow, so-and-so got 15 years on that charge? What? No way. That's when they go in there and say, okay, we're going to lock this guy up, but the next guy, I get this. You know what I mean? They trade off, you know? And that ain't the justice system. If you went in there and you robbed a bank, okay, give the guy the time for robbing the bank. Don't make a deal with him because you want to put the next schmo in prison for a lot longer. Give the guy his sentence. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what everybody's asking for. That's the justice system I'm talking about. These guys already make deals on people that they don't even know, you know. I had a guy told me one time, he said, Chauncey, I went into Oregon State Penitentiary on a 4-year charge. He goes, it was 16 years before I got out. This guy's a little skinny guy. He goes, some big guy went out and belted me. He goes, I was a little guy, I couldn't take it, I had to tackle him back. They'll tear you to pieces in there. He got caught. This guy was 6'5", this guy was a little guy. He got caught fighting. Boom, another 4 years. I said, they just kept racking him up on him like that. I said, that's because they make money on you. They get so much money on you, you know. That guy has a family and kids, you know. And that's why I always tell these guys, even my friends that I grew up with that are cops, a lot of these guys, I go to OSP and I pour water down to Sweat Lodge every third Saturday. What are the 3 worst things? It don't matter if you're a criminal or a cop. The worst 3 things: a rapist, a child molester, and a dirty cop. Worst 3 things. It don't matter if you're a cop or a convict. Those are the worst 3 things. So I just had to throw that out there because of the corruption issue again. But I'm a firm believer in that. So I want to thank you guys, and thank you guys for giving the time to speak. And I'm asking you guys, please support Leonard. This is his last chance for freedom. It's time for him to go home. And let's show Obama he has the supporters out there, because he's not going to make it to another president. You know, I go in there and he tells me, Chauncey, look at these guys in here. They're all 20, 30 years old. I'm 71 years old. I can't defend myself anymore. He goes, when I first came in here in the 70s, he goes, these young guys would come in here, they had respect for their elders. He goes, nowadays these guys come in here, they're all doped up. They don't know any better. They don't know how to respect their elders. He goes, any day could be my last day in here. Not let alone the aneurysm, the diabetes. He goes, one of these guys in here, he goes, I can't defend myself no more. You know? So it's time, you know, he needs to go home. You know? So that's all I'm asking. I'm repeating myself, and I'll let you guys watch the movie. And I always like to thank the supporters, because if it wasn't for the supporters, we wouldn't be here talking about Leonard, because they wanted him to go away a long time ago. You go on YouTube and look, there's even a prison guard on there saying they had beat Leonard so bad and threw him in the hole in Leavenworth. It was 120 degrees in there, and they said nobody give him food and water. And there's a guard on YouTube saying, if it wasn't for me sneaking him food and water, he would have never made it. So I mean, Leonard's had supporters. When I go down there to Coleman, I went up there a couple times, and a couple guards are talking to him. I go, what's going on? He goes, no, that guy's a supporter. You know, and my deep down inside me, that makes me feel, you know, a little more secure for Leonard. You know, I know he's in a crazy place. There's a lot of people that deserve there. But at least, you know, some of these guards that read and know about his case, you know, if anything happens to him, you know, hopefully they'll do the right thing. and they'll say what happens to him. You know, so I almost feel like maybe they're the creators, the watchers, watching over him, and helping him on his journey. You know, let's help finish his journey on his way at home. It's time. So I mean, thank you guys. Thank you very much.